Welcome to our video about workplace equality in the northeast of Scotland, covering the areas of diversity and well-being in the workplace. There can be so many competing demands in the workplace that it can be hard to stay on top of the best ways to support employee well-being and diversity in your workforce. So our toolkit is a resource full of practical tips and info to make sure you feel more confident. Both about where to start and what steps you can take, and also the benefits for you and your workforce. So we have some Scottish facts and figures, as well as questions to help you measure where you are at. We also have links to other resources. We hope you find it useful and easy to use. Here are some local examples of people's journeys into employment and what made a difference to them.
For 7 years I had been at home and didn't know what the next step in moving forward was. It felt like there was a black cloud hanging over me. I was referred to the job centre, but this felt like I was fighting a losing battle. I then joined the job club run by Aberdeenshire Council. This turned out to be mainly socialising. Although it got me out of the house once a week and meeting new people, this was not what I was looking for. As time passed, I had several different job trials. None of them felt right for me. I have a visual impairment and was given no equipment to help me with this at all. In March 2009, I discovered Grampian Opportunities. I started work in a voluntary position and knew this was a place for me. I felt happy there. Due to my visual impairment, I had to apply for funding to purchase the special equipment I needed to work. All of the applications were successful and we were able to get what I needed to work in the office and at home. This included a reader for the computer and Zoom text software. Volunteering at Go helped me to develop my skills and to grow in confidence. In December 2010, I was offered a paid position at Go. I had achieved paid employment. The first 6 months of my employment were funded by the Future Job Fund, granted by the Royal National Institute of Blind People. This meant I had time to trial working a full week. Myself and Go agreed the trial period worked well and decided I would continue to work there. I received support from both RNIB and Go during this time. Achieving paid employment has helped me to live an independent life. Now I am helping others in my work, something that I really enjoy doing.
For years, I had been out of work due to my ill health issues and responsibilities as a carer. I decided that I needed a purpose. I was referred to a skills advisor who looked at job placements. I began a 9 weeks work placement at Lane's Kitchens and Bathroom Centre. This introduced me to working in an office administration. I really enjoyed myself and I was sad to leave when the placement ended. When I first visited Grampian Opportunities, I was a little nervous about meeting people with disabilities. I have never mixed with people in wheelchairs before. I began volunteering at Go and took part in several pilot schemes. I attended a confidence course, developed my craft skills. Volunteering at Go, I quickly learned the value of people and saw them for themselves and not their disabilities. Volunteering gave me the opportunity to believe in myself, to develop my skills and grow in confidence. It wasn't easy, but I learned to be more resilient and to see the value in myself. I was lucky to be offered a paid role on a short-term project looking at self-directed support. This led on to increased paid hours in administration role within Go. I continued to take on volunteer roles out with my paid hours. This led on to training opportunities such as graphic facilitation and easy read. Before long, I was using my skills to run groups and help others. At this point in my journey, I was encouraged by my colleagues to apply for a short-term job advertised by the local voluntary sector. I was supported to apply for the job and I was successfully appointed as a dementia-friendly support worker. I have now moved on from my administration role at Go to pursue work opportunities out with. I now run the Crafty Crafters group with Go alongside my other work commitments. My journey has taught me the importance of a work-life balance that puts me first. Being part of something, having a role to play and being part of the community gives you a sense of value which no one can take away from you.
For many years I had been at home. I didn't believe I would be able to have a job due to long-term health issues and my mental health. In 2011, I began volunteering at a PTSA charity shop. This gave me a boost and I was ready to find something else. The job centre recommended I contact Grampian Opportunities. After visiting Go, I began volunteering on a Friday afternoon, starting at 2 hours a week. I was very nervous. Over time, as I got to know people, things became easier. I attended social events with the Go team, something I didn't normally do. The Go team was so welcoming and friendly, which really helped, as it takes a long time for me to get to know and trust people. Gradually, I increased my volunteer hours at Go and began volunteering 2 afternoons a week, as well as my 2 afternoons at PGSA. While volunteering at Go, I attended courses, did training, and developed my creative and artistic skills. I didn't know these could be useful in a work environment. In 2015, I was offered some paid work hours at Go. This was a huge achievement for me as I never believed I could do this. I began working as admin support for another member of the Go team 1 day a week. Being able to support another member in their work felt like I could really help make a difference. Volunteering and working has really helped to boost my confidence. I have achieved things I never believed I could. Having a purpose and routine has had a really positive impact on my life. My journey has made me realise that having a disability, health condition, or mental health issue doesn't have to mean you cannot work or volunteer. There is support available and opportunities out there that allow us to share our unique skills and help to make a difference. The journey may be a little harder, but it really is worth it. I had to give up my job as a nurse due to fatigue caused by my condition. I could no longer work the long hours. After several months at home, I began volunteering. I found this interesting and it gave me a purpose. I began volunteering at Grampian Opportunities. I lacked confidence and didn't believe anyone would employ me if I could only work a few hours. Thanks to Go, I attended different courses, which helped me greatly with my confidence, and I began to believe in myself again. I took on a mentoring role within Go, using skills I already had as well as the new skills I gained. I knew helping others was what I enjoyed doing. It made me happy. The turning point came when I attended a 12-week back to work course run by Go. Visiting an employer helped me realise that it was possible for me to get paid work. I started work in a paid role at 10 hours a week, which I did for 18 months. I also continued to volunteer during this time. It soon became clear to me that there was a need for individual community care. I started to think how I could contribute. With help from Go, I took a big step and became self-employed, offering individual care in the community. I would never have been able to do this alone. Without the mentoring support I received through Go, I would have given up. It has been 7 years since I started my service. At times it has been hard. I have learned a lot. My work helps keep me stimulated, which is important for my mood and well-being. I really enjoy running my small business. It fits around my health needs. It is great to think I am helping others that require support. It works for me.
My journey to employment.
While volunteering at Grampian Opportunities, Greg found out about Cafe Academy run by Inspire. The day of the interview, it was snowing, but his dad drove him to Aberdeen. Cafe Academy offered Greg a mix of formal training, hospitality, work experience through job placements, and support in finding a job. This helped build skills and confidence. The placements meant taking the bus 4 times a week with help from his dad. Kelly contacted Heather from the bakery to arrange the work placements. The placement was extended and led to a permanent kitchen portering job, and his hours have increased to 20. J.G. Ross is an award-winning bakery with 19 stores throughout northeast Scotland. This includes the large coffee shop and food store at Inverurie, where Greg started his job placement. Greg started out serving food in the kitchen. Soon Greg got to know people and had plenty of regular customers. Greg's job has changed over time. Greg enjoys his work, so he helped someone else apply for a job there. They have both worked at J.G. Ross for years now. It shows that if people get a chance, employers and employees can both benefit.
Story by Greg Laws, created by Julie, April 2020.
Tips for those applying for and using Access to Work. What is Access to Work? Access to Work is a publicly funded employment support program that aims to help more disabled people start work, stay in work, or support you if you're self-employed. Access to Work can provide practical support and grants for people who have a disability, long-term physical or mental health condition. Access to Work support can provide help or adaptations in the workplace. The Access to Work application process. Don't be put off by the application process and online forms. You can ask someone to help you with this. It is the person with the condition, not the employer, who is applying for support. Good communication between employee and employer will make the application process much easier. Work out what reasonable adjustments can be made and what help is needed. Employers will usually speak to Access to Work advisors to confirm the applicant's employment details and what adjustments have been made. Employers should have enough knowledge of Access to Work to support their employees' application. When applying for a job, you can have a letter from Access to Work, which explains the Access to Work scheme to employers. If an Access to Work application is started within 6 weeks of a new job, Access to Work will cover the full cost of adaptive equipment. After this time, the employer may have to pay part of the costs. Before applying, points to consider. Be honest about what you're struggling with in the workplace. Consider all physical and long-term conditions and how they affect you. Consider what is working and what is not working. What tasks do you need support with? What tasks can you manage without support? Consider support for colleagues within the application. For example, disability awareness training or autism training for new members of staff, which will help them settle into the workplace. Types of support available. Mental health support. Mental health support can be provided directly and does not require a full application, only a phone call directly to the provider. Workplace assessment. Workplace assessments can be completed at home, especially if you are self-employed. This can include equipment, chair, desk, etc. Job retention. Tell people about Access to Work as support may be available to them. Don't be put off applying if you are struggling. Often people leave a job because they don't know support is available. Support can make all the difference. How much will the employer have to pay? How much contribution the employer will need to pay depends on the number of employees they have. For an employer with up to 50 employees, there is nil contribution. Above 50, the contributions increase. Above 250, the contributions will increase. Any balance over £10,000 will usually be covered by Access to Work in full. Putting support in place. If employers are looking at employing a support worker, think carefully about who would be a good fit. Would they work well together? The employee receiving access to work support should be involved in the recruitment process of support workers. When receiving access to work support, if there are changes in your condition and support needs, contact Access to Work as soon as possible. This can help reduce stress and help manage changes better. The amount of support received can also be reduced if conditions improve. It takes confidence to work with a support worker, especially in the beginning. You must be able to guide and direct your support worker. They are there to support you to do your job, not to do your job for you. Access to Work paperwork and invoices should be completed and submitted each month. This can be done as part of your support.